I had Ivory in a big enclosure with the core part and the plants, and she was only a sling, which is, about an inch, inch and a half. And people were like, oh, that's too large of an enclosure. They're not going to be able to survive. They won't be able to eat. You need to put them in a little cube. And I'm like, now wait just a minute. I already been keeping 3 or 4 years and kept my slings in bigger enclosures. And I'm like, you're going to tell me something that's lived for thousands and thousands of years is going to die if it's in a big enclosure just because it's captive bred? It still has the instincts to
Yep.
hunt. They told me they didn't hunt, and I said that's baloney. They're not just opportunists. They do hunt, and I, I've proved it. I put videos of them catching flies,
I love it.
in this big enclosure, a
I
little
love
sling.
that.
People say, well, they don't need plant.
There's guidelines for a reason, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's better if we approach them with the respect that we would any other sentient being and find out what they like and what they don't like. We need to tap into our empathy and our compassion more with the animals that we're keeping in captivity, because they didn't choose to be in captivity. I feel like we have a responsibility, to give them the best life we possibly can, just like we would a dog, just like would a rabbit, anything else. So I see you.
that was really well said. I wished I said it. It was,
Well, I
I
think I
mean,
think we were both thinking it.
and that's the thing too. I want to touch on too. I said earlier that I don't think they show love. I
I
mean,
think they show affection.
because and that's what I was fixing to get to with Roxy, because Roxy has probably been the biggest impact. All of them has had an impact. At each animal, when I look at it, they make me respond differently, in different ways. When I'm looking at the spiders, I do more thinking and more calming. And when I hold them, I kind of get relaxed. And with Mushu, it's more of a. They all seem to calm, but with Mushu, it's more of happiness and laughter. Kind of silly things, and even with my dogs, same thing. But when it came to Roxy, it was like all of them wrapped into one. You know, it's almost like she senses for some reason, consents the moods I'm in, and it's like she changes it. My hobby is drag racing. I got a 1960s blown altered roadster, and it cost me tons and tons of money. And so we're needing to test it, and so I was worrying about that. Well, I got Roxy out, and she looks up at, and she never comes up to my neck, but she came up to my shoulder. She started out there, and she was sitting there, and I was walking around on the porch worrying about dragster I have. Next thing, she wraps around my neck, and she comes up and starts smelling my nose, and she starts like
Massaging you.
massaging, yeah, and she starts taking her head and starts rubbing it on my cheek, and it's just I melted. I didn't even lie. I was like, maybe she does love me. There's something there. I mean,
There's
because
something there.
she knew when other people did. I honestly believe that they do have these emotions. They just show them in different ways, and I think they're there. I think she honestly does love me. That because I protect her. Her enrichment, I made her this garden in the front that has all these driftwood pieces and even old tricycle that she kind of made it look kind of farmish. I got a plow that she climbs on.
I love it.
When I first got her, I kept her in the enrichment group to let her get to know me and trust me. And, she wouldn't, if you put her on the ground, she wouldn't go nowhere. She would sit, kind of sit there scared. Now, as long as I'm within 3 or 4 foot of her, she will just freely roam, and you could feel that she felt safe. I started target training her.
Did you?
Yeah, and it works like a charm. She's so smart. Now tell me, you can't even most times you can't even get a dog to do a trick by giving it food. Now tell me that a snake don't have some kind of intelligence, because that only took like 3 or 4 weeks. That to me just tells you that we've got it wrong. You know, humans are so selfish and so greedy that we can't see that everything to be learned is in nature. Being native, I'm not a Christian. I'm spiritual. I believe there's a great mystery, and most people call him God. I call him the great mystery because I don't know, you know, his plans or but I believe he gave us all this nature, this world to learn from. We don't need a book to learn from. We can go outside and watch, all the animals in the world, how they take care of this world without raping it like we do.
Without eating up the resources, and yeah,
Yeah, they take what they need, and that's it. We take,
everything.
more, everything, anything we can get. We can learn something from that. Man, it's sad,
Yeah.
that we're so closed minded.